Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. Newcastle star is Man United's shortlist to replace Casemiro, and some huge news ahead of the match. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. Newcastle star topping United's shortlist to succeed Casemiro. Newcastle's midfielder Bruno Guimaraes has emerged as a primary target on Manchester United's summer wish list as they look to find a long-term successor for Casemiro. Guimaraes may well be weighing up his future at St James Park following the Magpies' underwhelming 2025-2026 campaign. With Newcastle looking unlikely to secure Champions League football for next term, the club is finding it increasingly difficult to convince the 28-year-old to commit his future with a new deal. A move to the Theatre of Dreams could prove tempting for Guimaraes, who has consistently shown he is top-flight quality. The midfielder has bagged 9 goals and 5 assists in 23 Premier League outings this term, taking his overall Newcastle tally to 30 goals and 25 assists in 147 league appearances. While he is often deployed as a holding midfielder, the United target is equally adept at playing further up the pitch. His creative spark would be a massive boost for the Red Devils' engine room. On paper, he is the ideal replacement for Casemiro, though prizing him away from Tyneside will be no mean feat, as Newcastle will be loath to lose their talisman. Guimaraes' current contract runs until 2028, but if the Magpies fail to tie him down to an extension this summer, the ball could fall into Manchester United's court. Newcastle may be forced to entertain offers this year if the player makes it clear he wants a fresh challenge, though United should expect stiff competition from other suitors if he becomes available. Massive news from Tyneside ahead of Manchester United's visit. Manchester United are set to travel to St James Park to face Newcastle United for match day 29 of the Premier League this Wednesday night. Leading up to the clash, United's dismal record at the Magpies' home has come under the spotlight, with the Red Devils having tasted defeat in their last 3 visits. This fixture serves as a massive mission for Carrick to snap that losing streak, backed by the momentum of being unbeaten since taking the gaffer's seat. Man United have a proper shout at a positive result this time around, as Newcastle find themselves in a bit of a rut after losing 4 of their last 5 Premier League outings this season. This match isn't just a simple revenge mission for the Red Devils or a test of consistency for Carrick. It's a crucial scrap to keep their good run going. For Newcastle, playing in front of the St James Park faithful always provides that extra spark that can often flip the script, even when they're down to the bare bones. Eddie Howe will have to do some serious tactical head-scratching to keep their fortress intact, especially against Man United. Meanwhile, United arrive full of beans, looking to exploit the gaps in a host side's backline that's looking a bit fragile of late. Ahead of a tie, beyond their poor league form, Newcastle are also missing several star men like Bruno Guimaraes through injury. First up is Emil Croft. The defender is expected to miss the remainder of the 2025-2026 season following surgery on a knee injury sustained on international duty in November 2025. Despite attempts to return, surgery was required, creating a significant defensive blow for Eddie Howe's side. Howe explained that the decision was made for Croft to undergo surgery, effectively ending his season. The Magpies' boss didn't hide his disappointment, describing the loss of such a dependable squad member as a massive blow. With the business end of the season approaching, Croft's absence leaves a noticeable void in the back line, forcing Howe to reshuffle his deck as the club pushes for its targets. Fabian Schär is currently on the mend after suffering a rather nasty ankle injury in early January. There were initial fears that he'd broken it, but thankfully, further scans confirmed severe ligament damage rather than a fracture. Eddie Howe has confirmed that Schär's surgery was a success, and everything is moving along exactly as planned. Howe admitted that losing the Swiss international is a massive blow for the squad, especially given his cracking form this season. He emphasized that the club won't be rushing him back, as they're keen to ensure he makes a full recovery before getting back into the thick of it. Tino Livramento is in the final stages of recovery from a hamstring tweak picked up at the start of the year. The fullback is back on the grass and has been put through his paces with running drills for a while now, though he hasn't quite rejoined the first team for full-throttle training just yet. Howe explained that the lad has made solid progress and is looking sharp in his individual sessions. While the boss is confident Tino will be in top nick when he returns, the Manchester United match has come a bit too soon for him. He's expected to feature in the following fixture instead. Lewis Miley is sidelined with a leg issue stemming from a dead leg during the Paris Saint-Germain match in the Champions League in late January. The knock caused some muscle trouble, and he's had a few jabs to help the healing process. Eddie Howe stressed the club won't be gambling on the 19-year-old midfielder due to long-term risks. Howe added that while these types of injuries usually clear up in a few days, Miley's case shows muscle damage that needs about another week. Bruno Guimaraes is currently recovering from a hamstring tear picked up in mid-February. He suffered a rupture in his left thigh and is currently back in Brazil for intensive rehab. Eddie Howe mentioned he's been in close contact with Bruno. Bruno is very positive about his current physical state and is reportedly throwing himself into a rigorous rehabilitation program. He hopes Bruno can return to give them a lift at the business end of the season. However, the hamstring injury must be handled with kid gloves. Howe emphasized the team must find a way to win without their captain for the rest of March. Finally, there's a doubt over Jacob Ramsey, though there's hope he'll be fit. In the match against Everton the other day, he started and bagged a goal in the first half. However, just as the second half kicked off, he had to be hauled off after a bout of projectile vomiting on the pitch. Eddie Howe clarified that the substitution was purely down to a stomach bug, not a flare-up of the hamstring injury he dealt with the week prior. Bruno Fernandes set to meet Ineos amid Saudi interest. Manchester United's dramatic victory over Crystal Palace last Sunday did not only see the Red Devils climb to third in the Premier League table, but it also reaffirmed the crucial role played by Bruno Fernandes. Even though the team's collective performance is widely considered to be short of its peak, Bruno's brilliant second-half display proved to be the difference-maker, ensuring all 3 points remained in Manchester. The Portuguese star continues to demonstrate remarkable consistency, shattering various individual records in the process. Reality on the pitch sends a clear signal that the 20-time English champions remain heavily reliant on their captain's creativity and leadership to compete at the highest level. His ability to conjure chances out of thin air remains the heartbeat of the side's attacking prowess. However, behind his stellar form, speculation regarding Bruno's future is heating up once again ahead of the summer transfer window. Last year, Ineos reportedly considered offloading the player to Saudi Arabia when Al Hilal were prepared to splash out a significant fee, though the deal ultimately fell through and Bruno stayed put. That previous flirtation with a move away has left many supporters anxious about whether his head might be turned this time around. Latest reports from Fabrizio Romano suggest that top-tier Saudi Pro League clubs are expected to launch fresh bids this summer. The situation is slightly different this time, as United's management are reportedly keen to keep the midfielder. However, the final whistle on this decision rests entirely with Bruno. The boardroom hierarchy is well aware that losing such an influential figure could spark a backlash among the Old Trafford faithful. Positive signals are emerging from the players' camp, with Bruno said to be leaning towards staying at Old Trafford. A pivotal meeting between the player and club chiefs is scheduled to take place immediately after the season concludes to discuss the long-term vision of both parties. It is understood that Bruno wants firm assurances that the club's ambitions match his own desire for major silverware. Internal club sources indicate that the 31-year-old is showing no signs of wanting to pack his bags anytime soon. With approximately 18 months left on his contract plus a one-year club option, Bruno could potentially sport the Red Devils shirt until he turns 34. Such longevity would see him cement his status as a modern-day legend in the eyes of the Stretford End. The prospect of Champions League qualification for next season is a key factor in keeping Bruno settled. Under the current interim boss, the team's stable form has given the captain confidence that United's sporting project still has a bright and competitive future. Securing a spot among Europe's elite would provide the necessary financial and sporting clout to satisfy his professional hunger. The harmonious relationship with the coaching staff is also playing a vital role. Word is that if Michael Carrick is retained as the permanent manager, Bruno would feel even more settled in continuing his service in Manchester rather than seeking a new adventure in the Middle East. The mutual respect between the captain and the former United midfield maestro has become a cornerstone of the current dressing room atmosphere. The ball is now firmly in Ineos's court to determine their strategic move. Will they prioritize a lucrative financial package from Saudi Arabia or provide the ambitious project guarantees Bruno craves to maintain team stability in the seasons to come? Ultimately, the decision made by Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his team will serve as a significant litmus test for United's direction under the ownership. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.